Okay, so this story, it kicks off with a scene that's just so strange, so completely out of place, it makes you stop and ask a pretty simple question. Let's get right into it. Picture this. It's a dark, stormy night, the kind where the rain just washes away the lines on the road, and out of nowhere, headlights slice through the dark, brakes are screaming, and right in the middle of all of it, there he is, a yellow Labrador, just standing there, completely still. I mean, what is going on here?
So your first thought is probably, okay, the poor guy is lost, right? Separated from his owner. But then you look a little closer and you see this focus, this absolute intensity in the way he's standing, and you realize, nope, that's not it at all. He's not wandering. All right, so maybe he's just scared, confused by the storm, the bright lights, all the noise. But again, you look into his eyes, there's no panic, no confusion. This is a dog with a mission. He is exactly where he intends to be.
He's waiting. And the reason why he's waiting, in what has to be the most dangerous place on the planet for a dog, well, that's a story of some serious loyalty and a desperate race against time that's already underway.
So let's really dig into this scene. Because this isn't just some random dog in the road. This is actually the start of a rescue mission. And believe it or not, the dog is the only one who knows it. And this slide, wow, it just lays out the whole crazy contrast. You've got these angry, probably terrified drivers, honking and swerving, with absolutely no idea what's really happening. And then you have this one dog, Toby, standing his ground like a statue. It's not until one car finally slows down that its headlights paint the real picture, and it's a horror show. There's a crushed taxi smashed against the guardrail, and inside, a man is trapped. This wasn't just another fender bender. This was a silent disaster, totally invisible to every single person out there, except the one soul who refused to leave.
Okay, so to really understand why Toby is out there putting his life on the line like this, we've got to understand the bond he has with his person. So let's rewind things just a few hours before all of this chaos went down.
So on one side, you have Michael. He's a taxi driver who works the night shift, a guy who actually prefers the silence of an empty road over making small talk. He's a man who you get the feeling has seen his share of disappointment. And then you've got Toby, calm, super smart, and fiercely loyal. See, Toby isn't just a pet. He's Michael's co-pilot, his silent partner who hears all the thoughts Michael doesn't say out loud. Man, this quote, it just hits you, doesn't it? Michael didn't just drive with Toby sitting next to him. He confided in him. He told him his deepest truths about the world. And Toby would just listen. For Michael, that was everything. Theirs was a bond built not on words, but on this quiet, unbreakable presence. And it's that quiet bond that's about to be tested in the most brutal way you can imagine. Because on that slick, rainy highway, their entire world is about to just shatter.
I mean, just look at how fast this all happens. We're talking about one single second. 1 second, a truck up ahead loses control. Half a second later, Michael instinctively swerves to miss it. And then, impact. The world just folds in on itself. It's a terrifying reminder of just how fragile everything is.
And this is where the whole story flips. Now, we're seeing everything through Toby's eyes. By some miracle, he was thrown clear of the wreck, and he's alive. His senses are on fire. The sharp, stinging smell of fuel, the awful sound of crunching glass. He immediately scans for Michael and sees the absolute worst. His friend is pinned, not moving. But then he notices the real ticking clock. Water, from the storm, is starting to pour into the mangled car. And right here, this is the whole heart of the story. A dog's instinct in a situation like this would be to run, right? Get away from the danger, from the loud noises and scary smells. But not Toby. He takes a look, he sees he can't get Michael out by himself, and he makes a conscious, deliberate choice. He decides not to run, but to find help. And so begins the longest night of Toby's life. And it's not just a story about loyalty, it's about his intelligence, his problem-solving, and his absolute refusal to give up no matter how impossible it seemed.
And get this, he's not just running around in a panic. He actually develops a strategy. It's this desperate, heartbreaking, but brilliant loop. Run to the highway, try to get a car to stop. Fail. Immediately run back to the wreck to check on Michael. And then do it all over again. He's assessing, trying a solution, and constantly monitoring the situation. This is active problem solving. It's absolutely incredible. But it's not working. Car after car swerves around him. You can just feel the desperation building. The water in the taxi is rising. Michael is fading. Toby knows time is running out, so he escalates. He takes the ultimate gamble. He does the one thing he knows no driver can ignore. He lies down right in the middle of the highway, making himself an unavoidable obstacle. I mean, talk about pure, selfless courage.
And it works. A truck screeches to a halt. Help finally arrives. But even with rescuers on the scene, the danger is far from over. The car is a mess, the doors won't open, and that water is rising way too fast. This quote from one of the rescuers just drops you right back into the tension. They're here, but they might already be too late.
Toby hears the urgency in their voices. He can tell they're struggling, so he decides he has to do one more thing. He leaps into that freezing water, swims over to the car's broken window, and pushes his head inside. He nudges Michael, barking softly, as if trying to will him back, to tell him, hang on.
And that one word, it changes everything. Michael, somewhere in the darkness, hears his friend. He finds just enough strength to whisper his name. That sound, it's like a jolt of electricity for the rescuers. It gives them that last burst of adrenaline they need. They rip the door off its hinges and pull Michael out. He's alive, all because of a soft bark and a single whispered word.
So the rescue is a success. Michael is safe, he's on his way to the hospital, the crisis is over. But for Toby, his quiet duty, well, it isn't quite finished yet. It's just about to change form.
I just love this part. At the hospital, he doesn't bark or growl if a nurse gets too close. He simply stays. A quiet, faithful presence right there at the foot of the bed, just watching over the man he saved. His job isn't done until he knows for sure that Michael is going to be okay.
And here it is, the final, official word on the matter. This isn't just some heartwarming story. It's a documented fact. A police officer, someone who deals with tragedy for a living, confirms it. Without Toby's smart, brave, and calculated actions, Michael would not have made it through the night. It's the ultimate validation of what that amazing dog did. So when we circle all the way back to that first image, that lone dog on a dark highway, now we understand exactly what we were looking at. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't fear. It was loyalty in action, pure and simple. The story of a quiet man and his incredible dog, connected by a bond so powerful it could stop traffic, defy a storm, and in the end, beat death itself. It really makes you think, what does loyalty look like? Maybe it looks a lot like a yellow dog, just waiting in the rain.